The greatest depths of our darkness have only ever been there to indicate the greatest heights of light that we are capable of experiencing and embodying. Before we dive in, if you want to find out more about rebirthing your Body, Mind, Soul foundations through unconditional love into profound inner wholeness and nourish all aspects of who you are while transmuting anything from the past that might be keeping you stuck in a loop that you're ready to shift from, I invite you into my MagiiiK Portal email list where you'll gain access to a library of free content and get to stay up to date on all the latest happenings in Kristen's quantum catalyzers. Without further ado, let's jump in. These videos reference Kristen Windsor's original Trifecta Treasure Trove modalities, intellectual property of Kristen Windsor, all rights reserved. Whenever you look at a part of your shadow, which may include painful past experiences, traumatic events, or hidden or suppressed aspects of self, there are two different realities simultaneously occurring, and it's important to distinguish them from each other. The first is the reality of the energies flowing within the brain and body-mind that have been affected by past experiences and now translate your sense of self, inner realities, and moments of personal experience. Simultaneously, there is the reality of your consciousness, the essence of yourself, and the substance of your soul. Differentiating these two miracles of your inner realities holds the key to quantum leap your personal self-healing journey. So when we look at this shadow aspect of self, we are connecting with the essence of our own self through the patterns of navigation in the body-mind. And these aspects of self have never gotten to associate with the essence of their true beingness independently of the energetic structures in the brain and body mind, which again have been affected by those past experiences and are now translating the navigation of life from the inside out. These aspects of self, when you look at any part of your shadow, have never known the essence of their soul and the energy of their true self independently of those projections from internal navigation. Because there are two distinct miracles happening in inner realities in any given moment, we need to work with both of them, honoring the miracle of what they truly are. So we want to work with the navigational structures in the brain and the body mind that again have been impacted by past experiences and are now navigating the translations of your sense of self, inner realities, and personal experience. And we also want to work with the essence of self, the substance of the soul, the energies of consciousness of who you truly are. When we're working with an aspect of our shadow, we don't want to just look at the navigation and transmute things that we don't like and then call it a day. We want to go in deeper and allow for aspects of self to learn a new way of associating with who they are independently of those navigational structures. So if you look at an aspect of your shadow and you're like, oh, there's this part of me I'm not so sure about, there's this part of me that's got some baggage, there's this part of me that's got these stuck emotions, there's these parts of me who are connected with that past experience that I really don't enjoy looking at, whatever it might be, we don't want to just transmute the energy of the navigation and leave it at that. We want to go much, much deeper and guide these aspects of self to reassociate with who they are from the lens of the soul essence, rebirthing inner realities from a place of unconditional love to somatically sense more of the wholeness of who you truly are. This light that you see can be a nice representation of the shadow and light that we are working with. We're working with the shadows. We're working with the light. And so when you look at that aspect of your shadow, can those aspects of self know the essence of their soul independently of that shadow? And then can you rebirth those navigational structures of the body-mind so that the internal navigation that says, hey, this is who you are. Hey, this is how to think. This is how to feel. This is how to make choices. This is how to respond to things. This is how you associate with your existence. This is how you encounter your personal experience. All the navigational structures from within are rebirthed from the soul through love into wholeness. Up until now, those aspects of self have only ever known who they are in relation with that shadow, in relation with that hidden or suppressed aspect of self, in relation with those painful or traumatic past experiences. And those aspects of self have never gotten to meet the essence of who they are beyond that. And other parts of self have only ever known them from that lens. Oh yeah, that's the part of me that goes like this, and that's the part of me that feels this way. That's the part of me who did that one thing, right? We only ever know those aspects of self. They only know themselves, and we only know how to associate with those parts of self in relation with the lens of those navigational projections. So when we look at these aspects of our shadow, we want to differentiate what is the energy of my body-mind navigation and who is the actual essence of these aspects of my own self. From that differentiation, we want to guide those aspects of self to meet who they are independently of that shadow or that projection or that style of navigation or that way of associating with who they are. And then we want to transform and rebirth the navigation so that it's not just, oh yeah, like I healed that part of my shadow. It's, I literally transformed that shadow into light. I literally took that region of body-mind navigation, those energies of trauma, those energies of painful experiences, those energies of my deepest, darkest secrets, my deepest, darkest thoughts and feelings and action patterns and habits and choices and perspectives. I took the deepest, darkest, gnarliest parts of who I am in this human experience, and I rebirthed it into the light of my soul, into the unconditional love and profound wholeness of who I really am. And then there is no shadow. There's no more shadow. There's only this abundant, expansive light. Let me share with you about the very first person that I ever facilitated this transformation for. Trigger warning for the details I'm going to share here. When I first met them, they had hit rock bottom. They'd been struggling with substance abuse and self-harm for over 10 years. They had been in psychiatric abuse and so many different therapists' office that left them feeling worse off than ever before. They had experienced trauma after trauma after trauma throughout their adult life, including physical assaults, sexual assaults, losing everything they owned in a traumatic apartment fire. They'd also struggled with other things throughout adult life, including a variety of really toxic, unhealthy, and devastating relationships with friendships and romantic partners, and a variety of health challenges, mental, emotional, and physical health challenges, including receiving every mental health diagnosis in the book without any hope of actually experiencing healing resolution for those struggles. And all of this was actually a result of something that began earlier in life. During early childhood, suddenly there started to be insomnia and night terrors and anxiety and these really gnarly experiences that were unexplained. And a few years later, there began to be psychotic and dissociative episodes that again had no explanation. It turns out there had been really severe childhood trauma that had been suppressed that no one had known about. And so when I first met this person, they had hit rock bottom. The complex trauma had actually led to anterograde amnesia, where they struggled for 4 years without being able to create new conscious memories, their brain dramatically resetting from moment to moment and day to day. And then 2 years of retrograde amnesia, where they literally could not remember their entire life. There was dramatically split brain hemispheres, a total mind-body disconnect, and then they couldn't recognize the sight of their own face in a mirror, the sound of their own voice. To add to the complication of their challenges, they were living with very dramatically split brain hemispheres, where the left and the right brain hemispheres didn't have connection with each other, plus a total mind-body disconnect, where the mind was experiencing thousands of trauma-related projections in every moment, with zero connection to what was happening in the body in the present moment. Through all the intense brain activity, they also struggled with chronic aphasia and selective mutism, different styles of aphasia where the brain literally shut down its neurobiological capacity for language, causing them to be unable to physically speak or even internally narrate through inner language for periods of time on a regular basis. The deeper they got to uncovering the suppressed childhood trauma that had started everything, the worse their condition became. To further add to the complexities, they were living with chronic dissociative age regression, where the brain and the body would revert to the neurodevelopmental activity of being a young child because of the suppressed trauma, plus really severe dysregulation throughout all brain-body systems. Through all of those painful and challenging experiences, the body-mind was gathering navigational information about how to associate with its own existence. And so all of these aspects of self were only knowing how to navigate their own existence in relation with all these experiences and all the data that was being internally accumulated from it. Infinite aspects of the self navigating its own existence in relation with infinite moments of trauma and shadows. And these aspects of self having no association with their own existence or attunement with their soul essence, independently of those decades of challenges, pains, traumas, and horrific events. I was so blessed by the opportunity to work with this amazing individual and support and facilitate their journey of transformation. During this epic healing adventure, I was the only person that they worked with, and they were able to achieve 100% transformation, complete resolution of the original childhood trauma, complete resolution of all of the traumas from adulthood, complete integration of the brain hemispheres, complete integration of mind-body connection and reintegration of the brain regions that support that, total transformation of all the navigational networks that affect patterns of thinking, feeling, moving, choosing, and responding that store a lifetime of experiences to navigate self in life in present moments. Completely transforming all the patterns that led to those 30 plus mental health diagnoses, 100% resolution from every single challenge, every single symptom, every single battle. The age regressive states of consciousness were able to progress through the halted neurodevelopment and grow into the adult that they always desired to be, and an adult who could be there for them and love them the way that they deserve. All those decades of indescribable, inexplicable, unvalidated experiences then had a neuroscientific explanation for what was actually happening and why it was happening, what was actually causing it. And this validation alone brought so much healing to know that there was a valid neuroscientific reason for those inexplicable experiences that were so misunderstood for so many years. Half a decade of trauma-related amnesia had created memory fragments unconsciously embedded in the body without conscious memory of what had happened. And all of that got transmuted and processed through the journeys that I facilitated, where none of the unconscious fragments affect them negatively. And there's even explicit memories of those experiences that didn't have an autobiographical narrative to them during or after their occurrence. The retrograde amnesia also healed, and now they can remember the majority of their life and continue to get more pieces back every day. So literally every single challenge achieved 100% healing resolution exclusively by working with me through the original modalities that I've developed. They're now able to associate with their physical body, their face, their voice, and have a loving relationship throughout all aspects of self in body, mind, and soul. They're now able to feel like themselves for the first time in over 20 years. And they experience more presence, peace, bliss, joy, freedom, love, wholeness, and abundant wonder in everyday life more than they have ever experienced in their entire life. The most important, powerful, transformative, impactful piece of this entire journey, though, was guiding the aspects of self to associate with the essence of their own existence from the soul self, independently of how experience had taught inner realities to navigate the essence of self. Aspects of self were able to meet who they are independently of the navigation in the brain and the body, independently of all those experiences. From this expanded inner unity, the body-mind was able to be upgraded, to navigate self and life by being rebirthed from the soul essence through unconditional love into profound wholeness. And the liberation that occurs on a somatic level when aspects of self are able to know the essence and the truth and the soul of who they are, independently of those traumas and those pains and those shadows, and independently of the experiences that are being projected from within, from all that data that's now stored inside of it. The somatic loving liberation that occurs is indescribable, transformative, and creates such overwhelming wholeness that it transcends any other sensation on earth. So this very first person that I ever had the opportunity to facilitate transformation for was actually me, a previous version of myself that led to the work that I now share today. And this is the exact transformation that I now facilitate for my clients. And this is exactly the transformation that I now facilitate for my clients. Through my multi-month one-on-one sacred soul journey through Reborn as Infinite Love, I facilitate guided experiences so that my clients can learn all about the essence of their soul self in relation to their inner realities, to distinguish the truth of who they are and the essence of their true self and the substance of their soul and the energy of their consciousness from all the navigational landscapes of inner realities, the wiring of the brain, the wiring of the body-mind, how past experiences are now stored in inner realities, and how the internal navigational structures are translating the sense of self and personal experience and projecting thoughts, feelings, etc. And so we distinguish these inner realities and then explore their interactions. Who is the essence of the self? Who is the essence of the soul? And what's going on in these inner realities, these inner structures, all this navigational networks, trillions of networks, really complex neuroscientific insights that are succinctly simplified so that you can understand how the essence of your soul navigates in relation with these inner miracles. From this expanded understanding, we also create body, mind, soul, self treasure maps. Simple, colorful, fun, visual representations of, okay, that's the wiring of my body, mind, and navigational network that affects me in this way, and that's the essence of my soul self, and who the essence of myself truly is independently of that data and in relationship to it. And now that we have this practice down, we take it a step further and we go through guided journeys so that these aspects of the self can reassociate with the essence of who they are independently of all that navigational data affected by all those past experiences and all the shadows you want to transform. We then create daily practices to resculpt these navigational networks so they are literally rebirthed from the soul's essence through unconditional love into a state of profound wholeness where all aspects of self can know themselves as sacred love, sacred peace, sacred joy, sacred bliss, love's sacred expression, the sacred expression of infinite love, love's sacred freedom, love's sacred bliss, love's sacred joy, love's sacred presence, love's sacred peace, the sacred love of the soul's authentic inner wholeness. An infinite quote from my first inner best friend, referencing the terms of my models. My first inner best friend, which is the past version of me that went through all of those struggles, challenges on her own, self-healed them, and then created all these transformative, life-changing journeys that are now shared through my business. An amazing infinite quote by her is that the greatest depths of our darkness have only ever been there to reveal the greatest heights of the light that we are capable of experiencing and embodying. And so the greatest depths of that darkness and those shadows and the gnarliest things we could ever imagine going through are only ever there to say, hey, you think that's really gnarly and really deep and really dark? Okay, cool. Guess what? There's an opposite that is waiting for you. There is a great height of light that is waiting for you. There is a great expansion of bliss, peace, joy, presence, freedom, love, and wholeness that is waiting for you. And if we go through stuff that's like maybe a little gnarlier than gnarly, then we can know that there's just the equal amount of flip side waiting for us. The equal amount of its opposite waiting for us. You went through that depression, there's joy waiting for you. You went through that dissociation, there is presence waiting for you. You went through the anxiety and those panic attacks that lasted 4 to 5 hours, there you literally thought you were having a heart attack and you were on the verge of death. Now you get to experience peace that transcends human understanding. You went through the greatest pits of despair and abandonment and abuse and neglect. There is the greatest height of unconditional love awaiting you. You went through the most gnarly fragmentation of self that you could ever imagine encountering. There is a height of profound wholeness where you get to laugh until you cry from the joy and ecstasy you feel in your being by simply being connected with all of you. There is restriction and insecurity and inferiority and feeling small and powerless. There is a height of freedom that can be somatically sensed within body, mind, and soul awaiting you. The greatest depths of our darkness have only ever been there to indicate the greatest heights of light that we are capable of experiencing and embodying. If you are ready for this transformational journey, I would love to serve and support you so that you can know the essence of your true self, the substance of your soul, the miracles of your consciousness independently of the shadows that you're transmuting and the brain-body wiring that's navigating your life and storing all those lifetimes of past experiences and projecting those patterns of navigation through your thoughts and emotions and habits. And then from understanding these two distinct realities through creative collisions between neuroscience and consciousness, taught in a very simplified, easy to understand way and demonstrated through fun, colorful, visual treasure maps where you literally get to treasure map the miracles of you. You get to treasure map the miracles of your self-essence. You get to treasure map the miracles of your inner realities and the underlying structures that create your sensations of experience. Treasure map them through creative collisions between neuroscience and consciousness. Then we go on journeys to reassociate with aspects of self so you can meet these aspects of who you are in a way you've never known before, and allowing these aspects of self to know who they are in a way they've never known before, and then resculpt inner realities to literally rebirth the foundation of your inner being from your soul essence through unconditional love into profound wholeness. And then your life experience will never be the same. You will get to know more of all of you than you've ever known. You will get to have more power and authority within the sensations of your inner realities. You will get to hold the power to rewrite how any experience now affects you, no matter what it is, in a fun and fulfilling way. You will get to transmute the foundation that translates your entire sense of reality from the inside out, to create a new sense of self that stems from love and wholeness and not anything that doesn't feel like that. And from this expanded unity within the essence of yourself, the miracles of your brain, the miracles of your body-mind, uniting body, mind, and soul in a transcendent way, you will get to experience the fullness, the wholeness, the abundant wonder of all that you are in a heavenly sensation of inner perfection that is the truth of your being. This multi-month journey with me includes weekly guided sessions with me, daily practices, and access to a library of self-guided journeys that will be referenced during our time together and can continue serving and supporting you beyond our journey together. You can find out more in the video description below, and if you're interested, you can schedule a miracle meeting where we can discuss possibilities. Through a miracle meeting, you can share your personal intentions for this journey, ask any clarifying questions, and hear about how this journey can be personalized to fulfill your intentions and see if it is the perfect fit for you. If you're not yet ready for this multi-month journey to go deep into your transformation in the most loving, nourishing, rewarding, and fulfilling way imaginable, then I invite you into a single sacred soul session with me and or a self-guided journey. You can also find these offerings in the video description below. Thank you for exploring these magical healing miracles. To support this important work in reaching more people, please give this video a like, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications to stay updated on latest releases, and love to connect with you in the comment section. You can say hello, let me know where you're tuning in from, and share a comment about something that you learned from this video, or maybe something that inspired you, so that others can be invited to explore the miracles of this journey also. Share this video with a friend, and I look forward to connecting with you again soon. Duckies! Ducky Wuckies! Ducky Wuckies! Ducky Wuckies! Hi! Run away, Ducky Wuckies!